Hello, and welcome to this lesson on comparative life cycle assessments. In today's lesson, we'll explore the basic steps involved in conducting a life cycle assessment for plastic and paper shopping bags. We'll also compare the environmental impacts of using each type of bag through this assessment. Let's get started. Let's begin by outlining the stages in the life cycles of plastic bags and paper bags, starting with plastic bags. Looking at its raw materials, plastic bags are made from petroleum, a non-renewable resource. Extracting petroleum requires significant energy and has associated environmental impacts, including habitat disruption and potential for oil spills. Moving on to manufacturing, the production process for plastic bags is energy-intensive but efficient, allowing for the creation of large quantities. This involves refining petroleum into ethylene, polymerizing it into polyethylene, and then shaping it into bags. Next is usage. Plastic bags are durable and can be reused multiple times, which can reduce their overall environmental impact if reused effectively. Finally, we have disposal. Plastic bags do not decompose easily, taking hundreds of years to break down. If not properly disposed of or recycled, they can cause severe environmental pollution, contaminating land and waterways, and posing threats to wildlife. Moving on to paper bags. Starting with raw materials, paper bags are made from trees, a renewable resource. However, harvesting trees can lead to deforestation if not managed sustainably. Deforestation results in loss of biodiversity and disruption of ecosystems. Looking at the manufacturing, producing paper bags requires significant amounts of water and energy. The process includes pulping wood, which involves the use of chemicals, and forming it into paper, which can release pollutants into water sources. Now, onto usage. Paper bags are less durable than plastic bags, often used only a few times before becoming damaged. Finally, looking at disposal. Paper bags are biodegradable and decompose much more quickly than plastic bags. They can also be easily recycled, although this process still requires energy and water. Now let's compare the environmental impacts, starting with energy use. To compare energy use, we must consider the entire life cycle. For plastic bags, energy is heavily consumed during the extraction and manufacturing stages. For paper bags, significant energy is required during the production process. Although the extraction of renewable raw materials might seem less energy intensive, the overall manufacturing process for paper bags is quite resource demanding, particularly in terms of water and chemicals. Next is pollution. Both plastic and paper bags contribute to pollution, but in different ways. Plastic bags can cause long-term environmental pollution due to their longevity and potential for not being properly disposed of, leading to soil and water contamination. Paper bag production can lead to air pollution from the chemicals used in pulping and water pollution from the waste generated. Now looking at carbon footprint. Carbon footprint refers to the total greenhouse gas emissions. Plastic bags generally have a lower carbon footprint during production compared to paper bags. However, their environmental burden increases if they are not recycled and end up in landfills or as litter, where they release carbon as they photodegrade very slowly. Paper bags, although having a higher initial carbon footprint, decompose faster and can be easier to compost, reducing long-term greenhouse gas emissions. Finally, let's analyze waste management. Recycling plastic bags can be challenging due to contamination and the difficulty of the recycling process. If not recycled, plastic bags accumulate in the environment. Paper bags are easier to recycle and can be composted. Thus, their waste management is generally simpler. However, the recycling of paper bags also consumes water and energy. By examining these factors, we can see that both types of bags have significant environmental impacts. The key takeaway is that there is no perfect answer. Each type of bag has its advantages and disadvantages depending on the specific context of their use and disposal. This comparative life cycle assessment highlights the importance of considering multiple environmental impacts before deciding which bag to use. In today's lesson, we conducted a comparative life cycle assessment for plastic and paper shopping bags. We examined the stages of their life cycles, including raw material extraction, manufacturing, usage, and disposal. This comparative LCA demonstrated that both types of bags have significant environmental impacts with no perfect choice, emphasizing the importance of considering multiple factors in environmental decision-making. Watch the rest of the GCSE chemistry course at Sophos Education.